It's Dave Grohl versus Taylor Swift as fans of the artist flock to the internet to defend them and define what live music really is. But is this feud a little bit too overblown, and is this thing actually real? Let's break it all down. Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel. So both the Foo Fighters and Taylor Swift are on tour right now in the UK, and there's been some controversy about some of the things that Dave Grohl said on stage the other night. So the Foo Fighters were playing in Manchester in the UK the other night, and Dave Grohl allegedly called out Taylor Swift on stage, referring to the Foo Fighters tour as their Errors tour in reference to Taylor Swift's Eras tour, and proceeded to say that the Foo Fighters actually play live as a supposed dig at Taylor Swift and her band for not actually playing live at their shows. He also said he didn't want to incur the wrath of Taylor Swift, but Dave, this doesn't seem like the way to do it. So as one who's known to never shy away from a fight, Taylor Swift at her show at Wembley Stadium in London the other night fired back at Dave Grohl and defended her band for playing 3.5 hours live every night and putting in the hard work, which of course is true. And I don't usually comment on kind of celebrity-ish gossip here on the channel. I pretty much like just to stick to the music most of the time, but I had to talk about this because Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters are one of my favorite bands of all time. And I have nothing against Taylor Swift. Obviously, she's the biggest star on the planet right now. I can't say I'm very familiar with her newer material or maybe even stuff she's released over the last decade or so. I know a lot of her older hits. I'm a big fan of Shake It Off, but I can't say I'm too familiar with a lot of Taylor Swift's more recent material. But you know what? I do feel like this thing has been overblown in general on both sides of the aisle with Taylor Swift fans and Foo Fighters fans. And you know what? Chino just had to chime in. But you know what? To me, this whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. It's hooey. It's balderdash. All very modern terms to describe basically that. I don't think this feud is really worth the headlines, but you know what? I still made a video about it. And it seems like Dave Grohl and Taylor Swift are, maybe not the best of friends, but it seems like they get along, that they've hung out before. I've read stories online about them hanging out at parties and generally running in the same circles. So it doesn't seem like they're frenemies or enemies or anything like that. The one story I do remember reading online is Dave Grohl telling the story about how Taylor Swift sang one of the Foo Fighters songs, Best of You, on piano at a Paul McCartney party that were at Paul McCartney's house of all places. I guess Dave Grohl was a little bit stoned and everybody wanted him to get up and play a song, and he doesn't know how to really play piano, and that's all they had because it was just left-handed guitars because it's Paul McCartney's house. Anyways, he's talked about how Taylor Swift kind of bailed him out of that situation by getting on the piano and singing Best of You, and it's obviously that they know each other in some capacity. And I'm not really sure if Dave Grohl was taking a shot at Taylor Swift or just the live music business in general. It doesn't really seem like him to be really mean-spirited. I think he's generally a good-natured, humorous kind of guy. So I think he was joking. He was probably just ribbing because both of them have huge tours going on in the UK right now. And you know what? There's no doubt that Taylor Swift sings live and that her band plays live, but there are backing tracks, and that's not cheating in my opinion. It's part of doing a big arena, big stadium show with many moving parts in addition to just the music. It doesn't diminish the power of the show or the talent in any way. And the thing is, there are lots of rock bands out there who use tracks. The Foo Fighters don't, but there are lots of rock bands, modern rock bands out there who use backing tracks at their live shows. So it's not exclusive to pop acts at all. It's very common when you go see a live show in 2024. And because it is 2024 and I'm a forward-thinking kind of guy, I don't inherently think it's cheating to have tracks when you play live. Many bands and artists these days conceive of their music in the studio, which is different than how I've played my bands over the years. We've always jammed things out in the jam space before we go into the studio, but bands don't do that anymore. They record it first and then they figure out how to play it live. I'm not sure if that's how Taylor Swift does it. I don't really have knowledge into that. You can let me know in the comments, but in general, they want it to be as well represented live as it is on record. And the Foo Fighters and Taylor Swift put on very different kinds of concerts. The Foo Fighters are known for being a fully live rock and roll band. That is part of their DNA. That is part of who they are. Hence the Errors tour. They're a live band that can make mistakes. But Taylor shows are a whole different beast. They're huge. They're monumental productions. There's live music, of course. That is the heart of what's going on in the show. But there's also a lot more than just 6 dudes standing around playing rock songs. And I think in general, Dave Grohl was more talking about the Foo Fighters than he was talking about Taylor Swift. I think he was talking about how the Foo Fighters are a live music beast. They're a little bit rough around the edges. Things can go off the rails a little bit, hence the Errors reference. It's a big production, but it's not too slick. and it's not nearly as coordinated and put together as Taylor's show. And I don't really think any of that was a dig at Taylor Swift. And I don't know if Dave Grohl would be stupid enough to deliberately incur the wrath of the Taylor Swift fan base. They are passionate, to say the least. And of course, Taylor's fan base responded with insults, saying that the Foo Fighters concert that they were performing wasn't as big as the Taylor concert, and a whole host of other insults. I'm not really sure if anyone at this point in 2024 can be as big or bigger than Taylor Swift at this point in time. I think in general, I wish that Taylor's fans and Foo Fighters fans too would be less reactive when things like this happen. I understand their passion, but the one minute anybody says anything against Taylor Swift, they go into attack mode, and this time the target was Dave Grohl. And in turn, Foo Fighters fans hit back, and now the internet has gone crazy. And it makes me wonder, why does everything have to be a battle online for who's better, whose music is better, who sold the most tickets, who's playing the bigger venue? It sounds like fans in the UK are the ones who are winning right now, because there are so many awesome tours that are running through the UK. It's unbelievable. And Taylor Swift always comes out on top anyways. I saw online that Paul McCartney and Peter Gabriel were at her show at Wembley Stadium the other night, so she's got some good company hanging out backstage. And then Paul McCartney was even dancing with some people at the concert to Taylor Swift's songs. So you know what? I think she's doing okay. And who knows? Maybe we'll see Dave Grohl walk out on stage during the Taylor Swift show to sing Best of You or another Foo Fighters song or a Taylor Swift song. Do I think it could happen? Maybe, probably not, but it's nice to think about. Overall, I think we all need to calm down and just enjoy the music. I didn't mean to make a Taylor Swift reference there, but you know what I mean. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this internet feud in the comments below. Dave Grohl talking about Taylor Swift talking about Dave Grohl. What do you define as truly live music? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to toss me a thumbs up. If you like this channel, you want to rock out with me here on the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos, and make sure to follow me on social media across platforms on X and Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else at Nick Chino Music. And I'll see you guys again for another video here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.